Hi everybody, today we're going to be working on the I can statement. I can evaluate expressions using the order of operations. We all have to follow the same order with adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, grouping exponents. We have to follow the same order so we all get the same answer when we solve a math problem. The order we have to follow, we remember by GEMDAS. G-E. I'm going to put the M and the D on the same line and the A and the S on the same line, and I'll explain why in a second. First, when we're solving a problem, we're going to do all of the grouping symbols. And those could be parentheses or brackets or a long division bar. And then next, we do exponents. And that's where you have the base with a small number. And then we're going to calculate the multiplying and dividing. And the reason they're on the same line is when you're going through the problem, you solve multiplying and dividing left to right, whichever one comes first in your problem. And then our last step, we do all of the adding and subtracting. Also from left to right. Okay, so let's do a couple examples. The first example that I want to do is 19 to the second power minus 3 plus 11 plus 11. All right, and if I go through my grouping symbols here, or if I go through my order here, we don't have any grouping symbols. So I'm going to check that off. We do have an exponent. I'm going to calculate out that exponent there, 19 times 19. 9 times 1, 361. And then I'm going to bring down all of the rest of my numbers so I can figure out what I have to do next. We're done with exponents. Then I would check multiplying and dividing. I look at my problem. I don't see any multiplying and dividing, so we're done with that step. And now I go on to adding and subtracting, and we need to do those left to right. So I'm going to start at the left of my problem, and I'm going to solve this subtraction problem first, and that would be 359. And then I'm going to bring the rest of my problem down. Okay. Then I start on the left again. I have adding that I come across. So I do 359 plus 11 would be 370. Bring down the rest of my problem. The last step I have is also adding. So 370 plus 11 would be 381. Okay, I'm done with my final GEMDAS step, and I have simplified all the way to my final answer. All right, let's try one more example, and this one has a fraction bar, 47 plus 2 times 1 to the second, all over 3 plus 2 times 2. Okay, so we have this long fraction bar, and what that does is it breaks this into two separate problems, and then we're going to do that dividing at the very end. So it groups the top together and the bottom together. So let's start on the top part of our fraction bar first, and we're going to do order of operations up there. So on the top, I don't have any more grouping symbols, so I'm going to go to exponents and solve the exponent part of my problem. One to the second power is 1. And then I'm going to bring the rest of my problem up. Now I have, I'm going to check for multiplying. So I multiply the 2 times the 1, that gives me 2. And I'm going to bring up the rest of my problem, 47 plus 2. Now I only have that one operation left, and I'm running out of room. So 47 plus 2 is 49. So I have 49 on the top of my fraction bar. Now let's go to the bottom and calculate out everything down there in our order. So down below, I have adding and I have multiplying. When I look at my order of operations order, my multiplying and dividing comes before adding and subtracting. So I'm going to do the multiplying part first. 2 times 2 is 4. Bring down the rest of the problem. And now I only have one operation left, which is adding. I'll add the 3 and the 4, and I get 7. So I have 49 on the top of my fraction grouping and 7 on the bottom. And now that's our last part of the problem we do. 49 over 7 is the same as 49 divided by 7. And we would get 7 for our final simplified answer. All right, I hope this helped. We did I can evaluate expressions with using the order of operations.